Hello, dear listeners. Samantha Weiner here. We are living in some uncertain times. Many of us are physically isolated from our communities and, quite frankly, fearful for our health. Now, more than ever, we need to strengthen our bonds and lend support to one another. I will no longer be co-hosting this little pod child of ours, and I am truly excited for its future. You all will be in good hands. As the world grapples with this crisis, I hope you find a little comfort here and a little more joy. After all, what are friends for?
What are friends? What are friends for?
Hi, everybody. It is season 2 of What Are Friends For? Season 2, episode 1. And I have my good friend, Gabrielle Ruiz, here for this season. Hi, Gabrielle.
Thank you so much. I am here, but not there. So, due to the fact that the whole world is in major isolation, safer at home orders all over the place, we were so excited to be a part of, so excited to have me on as a guest for season 2 of What Are Friends For? And I think we were just in the midst of talking about where you want to meet up and what studio we want to rent and blah, blah, blah. And it was like all exciting and boom, pandemic.
Absolutely. And it kind of forced us to get creative. So I cannot see your face right now, but I expect nothing but fierceness on your end. So I'm really excited that we're doing this and that we went ahead with it. And I think it's just, I've always wanted to work with you, first of all.
Yeah?
And yes, I've always wanted to work with you.
I've been ready for you to ask, like freaking Cinderella at the ball. Like, I've been ready. I'm like,
But I
please
think,
ask me.
I think you could relate. Like there's a time and a place to ask somebody to join you on a venture, right?
Of
And
course.
it has to feel right. It has to be the right time. Funny enough, this is the time where we're not going to see each other. We're still going to do this anyway. But it felt like a natural progression because we've known each other for so long. Funny enough, we did meet each other in a work environment.
That's
So we
very
already
true.
know that we work well together.
Yes.
So it was
Yes.
just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm. And we also revived our relationship and friendship working together again a decade later. Maybe we work in decades. I'm just putting this together because I introduced you to Shackley. It's an MLM company that both of you and I are very proud of. And it got me out of my slump in New York. But I have to say, I introduced it to you and I was like, she's not going to go for this. She's not going to go for this. And then you did. So you were Cinderella in that moment. And like we completely like strengthened and kind of, made our like adult foundation of our friendship in New York, which was now 10 years ago? No, how many years has it been? It feels like a decade ago. When were we in New York?
More than that.
5 years ago?
I think, you moved to New York when? In 2007?
8? 7?
Because I was
Yeah.
early 2000. I was early 2008. So so right before me. So girlfriend, that was a long time ago now.
Yeah, we'll let you guys do the math, whoever's listening. But again, in conclusion, I am thrilled to be a part of What Are Friends For?
Yay. I love you.
So can I go into our first segment? Oh, and I love you too. Can I go into our first segment? Because I've been thinking about this through over and over and over.
Absolutely. You take the lead.
Thanks. I'm like the new kid on the block. I'm like the young buck. I'm like, let me. Okay, so we decided since we aren't together physically, and you have always been in my group of friendships in Los Angeles and in New York, but for the last few years since we've been here, if you guys look back in season 1, I was a guest on What Are Friends For? You can hear a lot of Pallavi's in my backstory there and all of our insecurities as friends and how we support each other in that. But moving to this whole quarantine life, we decided this segment called Instagram versus reality on how we catch up.
Insta friends or reality? Yeah.
Go for it. I mean, does that mean you're going to look at my Instagram now?
So yeah, let's talk about a little bit of the details. I always see you on Instagram more than I see you in real life. So I thought we would dive in on what you've been up to on the Insta. And the first one that I love, that the most updated one, if you go to Pallavi Sastri's Instagram, you'll see the one I'm looking at, and it's Pallavi 9 months then, 9 months now, basically, is what the picture is.
That's correct.
All right. So Miss Shishishi, your daughter, I'm a huge fan of. She even has like a group text named after her of another friend group that we have. And it really just was so sweet to see how 9 months have been then and 9 months are now for you. And I also died with Shishi. When you swipe left and see the second photo, 9 months now, you should see that smirk and sass on her face. I mean, I died. I died.
I mean, it kind of comes with the territory, right? I don't know why I'm so surprised by how much personality she has already. It's like, my husband's full of first personality and I have my own attitude. So it's just a combination of the two. I mean, it's just pretty natural.
But it's also like the chin dip and the angle. I mean, like her face, she just like nailed it. But also, I mean, you can tell our listeners as well. I mean, she almost booked a commercial at how many months?
That's right. Yeah. So 3 months, right? She was 3 months old and I was ready to start getting back out there and auditioning. And one of the first things I went back to, or that I got an appointment for, was for a national commercial. And it was a mommy and me sort of audition. And I said, oh, did I tell my agents I was okay with this? I guess. Yeah, sure. I'll take the baby. That means I don't have to get a sitter. Cool. So I took the baby. And it was her first audition too. And then literally the next day we got put on a veil for this national commercial. I'm like, what is happening? I don't understand. And so my
You're
agents
like, I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so my agents were like, you have to go get her a work permit and you have to open a special bank account for her. And then you have to do this and you have to do that to make sure that all the paperwork is set for her to be a working actor. I was like, what just happened?
You're like, I'm supposed to come make my comeback. This is my comeback.
I mean, I guess best case scenario, right? I mean, it's sort of my comeback as well. It's like 50-50. I'm sharing it with my 3-month-old. So, I mean,
Sure.
I mean, unfortunately, that avail didn't turn into an actual booking, which in our, in business terms, it means that we were supposed to hold to be booked. We weren't actually booked. So the booking actually didn't happen. And, so is life. But afterwards, she got requested to be a model for a baby pajama line. And then after that, she was asked to be in a music video. So,
oh, you didn't tell me that. Because even in your your post, it says she's screaming like a banshee and laughing and smacking me in the face. And so my question is that how she almost booked it, screaming like a banshee and laughing?
Well, it wasn't the laughing. It was just, 3 months old. All they know how to do is cry and eat and sleep. So like if she wasn't happy, she wasn't sure what we were doing. And I wasn't keeping things interesting. We were in an audition room. So she was crying actually. And I actually thought, oh no, this is not going well. But it turns out they loved it. So
Turns out that's exactly what they wanted.
Exactly.
I mean, lesson learned on acting, period, folks, or trying to, get into the arts entertainment industry. Just like go with it. Go with, do you.
Yes.
Do you. And that's what they book. They're like, that's what
honestly, and that's what they tell us
I'm
about.
so
That's
glad
why
she walked in the room.
Yeah, and they say kids are the best actors because they are just truthful and they're just themselves. So like from jump, she just was doing her own thing. She didn't care where she was. She was like, I don't care if you're in an audition, Mom. I'm not happy. Like
oh my gosh. I love it. I love that girl. And I feel like I haven't seen her since it's been 7 weeks in LA, I guess. We're on week 7 of safer at home orders. And I basically ask Pallavi every day if she's in high school yet because it feels that long. Oh, it's killing me.
I mean, we're gonna blink and it'll be there, but
Yeah. I can't wait to be on your porch in your little kiddie pool. Just move over, sheesh. I'm coming over. I can't wait. So why don't you ask me about my latest Instagram?
So the first Instagram post that I see, your latest post, Gabrielle, is you looking fierce in a dress with your hair did and your full face beat and a lovely, beautiful labradoodle at your foot. Like, is this a magazine cover? Like, what is this? How are you living? Is this during quarantine? I'm very confused.
Living my best quarantine life. That is basically the epitome of Instagram versus reality. I mean, this is the story behind this photo. So I moved to LA for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend had its 1-year anniversary since airing, basically in April. And, auditions are the new routine. And when it comes to like hiring my publicist, going to red carpets, going to openings, blah, 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 I've like cut it back, budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was asked from my very good friend and extraordinaire of talents in the industry, Gloria Calderon Kellett, to be her date night for a red carpet for the National Hispanic Media Coalition
Mm-hmm.
annual awards. And I was thrilled, and I was able to borrow this dress by OTT Dubai. They're a fashion designer in Dubai, and that's my actual hair. And I told Philip, my husband, I was like, we can't budget hair and makeup, so I did it myself. And when I was at the awards, sitting at like the table number 1 with Gloria, because she was a presenter, the original president of Telemundo, she told me, she's like, you need to do an editorial photo shoot in that dress. Trust me, I know.
Wow.
And when the president of Telemundo tells you that, you're like, of course, I have to do it. And so I took a photo on the red carpet. Everyone loved the dress. And Kat Hennessy, who is also in your second post that we could talk about in a second, Kat Hennessy, the extraordinaire everything that she is, entrepreneur, she's a fantastic photographer and has had a business in photography for many years in LA. And I was texting her because she loved the dress. And I was like, and I told her that Telemundo president story. And she was like, just come over today. Do you still have the dress? I was like, I still have my blowout from Dry Bar. And she was like, come over. Pallavi, I went over like in 2 hours. And that's her roommate's dog, Zion. That is not my dog, Leela. It's like the Photoshop Leela, okay? Like it's all like Instagram versus reality to the T. That is not my living room. That is not my couch. My hair looked cute, and that is not my dress. It might not even be me. It might not even be me.
But
that's when like my hair was still colored. But that's when like my roots were still done. I mean, I'm sure everybody's in pain right now because of the roots, but like I looked cute. And like Kat photoshopped a few photos for me, and I was like, that's my May quarantine look. I mean, I just wanted to show people that's what I look like.
Like that's definitely an Instagram versus reality situation.
I know.
Because when
It's
you
so
and I
good.
are talking on a regular basis, we're talking about how we woke up at 10:30 or whenever we woke up, and we're like still in sweats or still in our workout clothes, and we're sore from the workout, so we haven't gotten out of the couch and all that stuff. But
No.
I mean, you do look fierce though. You look more than cute. You look fierce.
Thank you. It's so, but when Telemundo tells you do an editorial shot, you're like, I have to do an editorial shot. So, and the fact that it actually happened was insane. And literally, like, I had an hour window that day. I can't remember the rest of the day. And Philip helped me. Like, we drove all the way to Kat's. Kat had the music on. She had the screens, the reflection things. I mean, it was Hollywood in the finest. More photos hopefully later. But at the same time, I thought it was appropriate for everyone's living room life on what they remember they were and what they actually are doing. Because, I mean, the fact that we're now videotaping some of our podcast recordings, I mean, it was so nice to get cute today. How about you?
Oh, yeah. No, it did. It did feel good. When you told me you were like, we should record ourselves on video, I was like, really? Okay. But it does feel good.
It's like my pre-pandemic life.
Yeah, because it forced me to get up at a reasonable hour because I have the luxury of having my mom here right now, so she does the morning shift, and so I woke up and I got on the bike and I did a workout and then got ready and here we are. I'm glad that we did it. We look good.
I felt cute too. Like I had something to look forward to, but like I don't miss summertime doing my hair because myself, I do miss the Dry Bar and all the blowout bouginess of pre-pandemic life. But, when I do my hair, like I got to start it the night before because I can't do my hair when I'm sweating. And so if I do my hair when I'm sweating, then it frizzes and it's just like a whole thing. So I sent Pallavi a picture last night. I was like, this is not a drill. I am going to get cute. And it takes me literally 12 hours to get to that point.
Well, Instagram versus reality, right? I mean,
but like go ahead.
No, I was just going to say like the reality of like the Instagram look is that it takes that much time for us to get to that place.
I forgot how long it takes to get into hair and makeup ready. And also like, I don't know about you, but I'm growing out my eyebrows. That's my like that's my quarantine experiment. Like, I just want to know. Like, I just want to know where they are. Like, where were they when I was 12? Do you even remember how far down they go?
So my eyebrows are a very very touchy subject for me because South Asian women are very serious about their eyebrows, and we go and get them threaded every 10 to 12 days. Like, ask most of us, like, we all have like our regimen of what we do with our eyebrows, and we tell the lady exactly what we want. It's usually like, another Indian woman who asks us very personal questions while we're in the chair. So it's like sort of a traumatic experience as well when we go to get our eyebrows done. And and so for me, like, I can't sit there and like look at myself in the mirror for too long, because I can tell you exactly how many hairs extra are on my eyebrows right now. Like,
Oh, that's like therapy in its own way.
yeah.
Oh my God. Pallavi, I'm so sorry you're going through it.
I know. It's just the
You are
thing. And
going through it.
my daughter has a full connected unibrow. And I tell her all the time, I was like, you are so lucky that this is cool now.
Oh yeah, the boy brow and all that.
Yes.
The last time I was on set, I got a boy brow like pencil in, and I was like, "Who is this person? I don't know who this person is." So I decided to like, give my eyebrow person like a new fresh chance, because like those like Hollywood legend stories where you go to that brow person, it's like thousands of dollars and they just pluck one,
Right.
Yes. So like I was like, why don't I do that? And like when we're out of the safer at home order, I'm just go to my brow girl and be like, here you go. It's like, clean palette of like wild Gabrielle beast mode. But let me tell you this. Let me tell Shishi about my unibrow. This is what she has to look forward to, because I'm letting that grow too. Yes, it's very frightening. I have white hair on my unibrow.
What?
I never knew until now.
Wow. That's another
like,
level. That's like,
she's like shining at me.
Yeah. I remember the first time a white chin hair came out. I was like, what is this?
How dare you? You were not invited to this party. No.
Well, anyway, I
gosh.
mean, what are friends for though, right? Like, I mean, Kat Hennessy just like coming in the clutch and making that happen. She's just a gem.
And like, I hadn't seen her. And so, with all of our work, she was changing jobs, and I was like hustling, doing other things. She lives maybe like 30 minutes from me in traffic. And you are about 45 minutes away. And I have to say, it was definitely worth seeing her. We had like a speed round catch up, and I actually finally gave her lipstick back that I've had for 5 months. And I remember putting it on. I was like, oh, I don't think this is yours. She's like, it's mine. I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, I had to give it back to her. But, I have to say, it's changed. Like, she was in my group. You're in my group. And now with the quarantine group idea, like self-isolation, like you have your group now. And I feel like the friendship dynamics have changed in how you reach out.
They absolutely have. I mean, texting has gone to another level. Like, the group texts are always like like it takes us 10 minutes to catch up if we miss something in the moment. But outside of that, I mean, the Zoom calls and the FaceTime calls, like that's really how we get any sort of for lack of a better term, face-to-face time. So it's forcing us to kind of cut to the chase, right? There's not a lot of time for small talk anymore. It feels a little more urgent to get to the point faster, right?
Mm-hmm. It really does. It feels that you have to isolate. I mean, you have to undivide your attention, which is appreciated, as well as an entirely new muscle when you catch up, because you're not texting or trying to make an Instagram photo or an Instagram, like trying to capture the moment. We're all together. And so you're doing that while you're catching up, especially with Zoom Nation now, like that's how we catch up and can see each other as a group. You take turns on how you are. And to be able to do that, like, I don't know about you, but I'm so happy we have that versus no technology in this isolation mode.
Right.
But like, I'm exhausted. I am exhausted after a Zoom call, because like, I don't know if you're watching yourself, but I'm watching myself. So like, I'm making sure like I'm cute, and my angles and stuff, or like my boob isn't hanging out or something, because like you're home all day. But then when you catch up with people, like you really need to hear them. And if it's glitchy or if it's delayed, like you spend there waiting to hear. And like, that must have been what it was like when the telephone came out, when you had to call the operator,
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty unfathomable, like how this would go if we didn't have that technology at our fingertips, like literally. I mean, we have so many different ways, but yes, the Zoom call, I mean, that's the only way you can do a group hang now. So
yeah. And I know, and I feel like maybe if this continues, I don't know about the smaller or the, the Midwest, but the smaller towns, but like maybe for the bigger cities, if quarantine comes in phases, like where we have to isolate again and again, we'll get
Mhm.
used to it. But like I do feel that it's a little like half and half, whether it is Instagram catch up versus reality on how
Mhm.
people are catching up. Like, are you talking about like things are great, things are great, and then like some people are like things are not great, So, but and I feel like with our Los Angeles girlfriend hang that there are some guests on season 1 that you can catch up to, like Kat Hennessy and who else?
Sophia
Who else have we
Gonzalez.
interviewed? Sophia Gonzalez, and those people. Like we had we had a Zoom hangout, and it was just like I did not know. I did not know how much I needed it. I did not know how much I missed you until I
Yeah.
saw you. And thank the universe that we have FaceTime and social media, but also Zoom. But I have to say, in comparison to that, when you came over to our place to drop off cookies during like the first maybe like week 3 or week 4 of quarantine, where we were all like, I think, very deep dive into this quarantine lifestyle. Fine. Like there was still no toilet paper anywhere and it was intense. We didn't know. It was like maybe the week before LA was predicted to be at its worst.
Right.
Right. And you came over and we like, kept our distance. I waved and I had my dog Leela, and her animalistic instinct to see you and how much she missed you, how much she missed your look, your smell, your voice, because she sleeps over a lot and she's best friends with your dog, Addie. They both have Instagrams as well, just so you know. And the fact that she howled in this way, I've never heard her howl before, because I was like, don't go say hi to her. And she was like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And that's when it hit me. I was like, I realized how much I miss you as my friend. Every week I would see you at least once. I mean, once every 10 days.
Mhm.
If I was in your area in LA or if you were in mine, we would stop by and just like have dinner. And I remember walking, I was like, I'm going to cry. And you said, don't cry. And I was like, okay. And then I went in and I sobbed. And then I
Oh.
told Philip, I was like, and it's okay. It is okay to feel terrible about what's going on and how we are lacking that dynamic that we're very used to having and maybe not taking advantage of, but we know the value of it. And it's going to be different, I guess, in appreciation more than ever when we can come back together.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all underestimate the chemical high that our bodies can get out of like human connection, right? And for
Yeah.
me, that going on that little drive was sort of ticking all the boxes for me. I was like, I'm gonna have some me time because I'm quarantined with 4 other people, including the baby, and I have 3 dogs here because we're fostering a couple right now. And I was like, I really just need to take a drive. And the only thing I could think to do that could like give me that further high was to try and put a smile on somebody else's face. And so, like, I was like, okay,
Mm.
I will support a small business. I'll buy cookies from Reese and Brady's Bakery, and I will go and drop them off with my dear friends. And, hopefully that will just be able to get us through the rest of the next couple of days, maybe. And then we'll have to
Oh,
revamp how we get that high again.
yeah. And those cookies were good. And also, Reese was a guest on season 1. Feel free to find that one too. It's a gem. But also, I have to say, seeing you and having that moment, just a little bit of a hit, you know what I mean? Like a hit
Yeah.
of seeing you. And Leela sat right between your feet and just like rubbed on you, like that contact. She would miss that contact. And like it was so, let's say, animalistic. It's an instinctual thing. And so I'm grateful Zoom and FaceTime and all that can do that. And you said that you've been, what has been your friendship like change routine on the daily to like make up for not seeing and being isolated?
Well, especially now that I have a baby and she's under 1 year and she won't remember most of this, but I want her to be able to like meet people, like this is like
Yeah.
such valuable time that I feel like I'm losing for her in terms of like
Mm.
being around all the people that I love that love her also, but she just doesn't know it. So the only
Yeah.
way that I can think of is like trying to FaceTime people every day. And, during her meals is like, instead of, TV time, we do FaceTime calls with people. And
Yeah. Same
it's,
screen time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, at this point, like she doesn't know, she like probably knows my dad as the old man in the phone, like it's,
Yeah. I have to say my parents have never lived in our adulthood cities. Like I guess you too
Hmm.
as well. And my parents I have a niece and a nephew in DC. And so they have always FaceTimed. I have always FaceTimed my niece Amelia, and so people are like having to do that more often than ever, even if it's just, I'm sure for families that are in the same town are having to be forced to do that now on their regular.
Yeah.
And oh boy, I was like, get in line, guys, it's tough. But at the same time, like, you could see them on FaceTime, and that generation, like she
Hmm.
it's like normal for her, because like Amelia now is 4 and she's like, okay, bye, when she's like done talking to me, and she like literally like presses the red button.
Right. Right.
But then when I see her once a year, she literally picks up right where we left off in conversation. So she knows me.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's nice.
No, it really is. And I make it a point to try and do that with as many people as possible. I am, you've gotten a couple of random FaceTime calls from me
I
in the
love
middle
it.
of the day.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, because it's important, like this is such a important time in a baby's life, like because around this age, this 8-9 month mark is when they say they start to feel things like separation anxiety. And as much as I want her to like love
Mm.
on me and hug me and stuff, like I do want her to want to be around other people. And so this is such a tough thing to navigate whenever you're trying to teach this baby skills about being a
Yeah.
human and connecting with other humans.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But we shall prevail. And the fact that you asked me to be a part of What Are Friends For during this incredibly unique circumstance in our world. I'm so excited about this entire season to be able to, for you and I, to make an excuse to commit to connect for
mhm.
sure, besides cookies, over cookies. But, at the same time, we can ask other people that about their friendships and dive into how how friendships have changed and have been forced upon with new quarantine groups and discovering other people's dynamics in this new world.
Right. I think, hindsight is 2020. So it's going to be interesting to hear from people in our community about what they feel like they could have done better in the past and what they intend to change for the future and as far as their relationships go. Because I think friendship sort of runs the gamut. You have a friendship with everybody, honestly. Like by definition, it's a connection with another human. So whether that's we're quarantined with our husbands, and our friendship with our husbands will change, and how we communicate with them because we're around them so much right now, and you know
Love you,
um
babe.
yeah. Yeah, but that is, I mean, that's always an interesting topic. I think, like, are you quarantined with roommates? Are you quarantined with a loved one? Are you quarantined with family? Like, these are all
Yeah.
very different dynamics, but essentially communication is the same. So yeah.
Yeah, communication's the same, and also, like, dealing with each other, and you're like, "I need space from you right now." There's some, like, cute memes right now where this little girl is like, "I need space from you right now," like, from her mom. So, I also, like, we've always been international with the technology. It's been very easy and accessible, but I want, if anybody's listening to this and knows people, like, in different countries, I would love to maybe guest my friend in London. Her name is Gatiuska, and we all call her Kat. Another cat
Mhm.
in my friendship. And like, I would just love to know how it's going for her in London, So any listeners out there that would like to email us or contact us, they can go to our website and maybe make a suggestion on their friendship. But anyway, any of our listeners right now that would like to maybe suggest a friendship story that you have that you would like to share, or know someone in a different country or a different part of the US, just go to our website, send us a comment, and maybe we could connect that way and, get you guys as guests or spots on What Are Friends For podcast. I think that would be fun.
Absolutely.
See if
Yeah.
that pans
All
out.
of our links will be tagged in the episode notes. And you can find us in, we have many ways to reach out. And I think it would also be fun. There's these ways of a lot of people in our industry, Gabrielle, are setting up these specific phone numbers and lines where people can text and send in voice memos and stuff. Maybe we should set up one of those.
Oh my gosh, we'll be like NPR.
Yes, we will be like NPR.
Putting it out there. NPR Friends For NPR Friendships. I don't know. Maybe NPR would want us. They'll be like, and now a special segment, Gabrielle and Pallavi.
Lightning Wall.
Let's do the friendship roundup, yeah? Should we ask each other like a question each or all 5 at the same time?
All 5 at the same time. Lightning round.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go. You ready?
Okay. Wait, go as an ask me or go as an answer?
I'll go as an I will answer because you're new to this world.
I'm like 2 feet in, man. Do I sound like I know what I'm doing?
You
is the more
really do,
important
though.
question.
But you know what, though? That's because we're good like that. So,
And we're pretty.
that too.
That's why we videotaped it. So all you people looking at this video commercial that we have for our new podcast, we got cute for you.
Mhm.
You better subscribe. I looked right into the camera for that.
Yeah, I'm like
Sorry.
doing a weird dance right now. That's not working, but it's fine.
Me too.
Okay.
What are friends
All right.
for?
Ready?
Subscribe.
You have to answer as quickly and succinctly as you possibly can. Ready?
Okay.
How long is your longest friendship?
34, my sister.
How do you stay in touch?
Marco Polo made a comeback with my sister. It really works for us.
Fantastic. In one word, what type of friend are you? I.e., are you a listener? Are you needy? Are you blunt?
I learned this on What Are Friends For podcast season 1 that I am a cactus.
You are a cactus friend. Tell the people at home what a
Sam
cactus friend
told me
is.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like survive, and you don't need to talk to me for hours and hours and every day. But when you need me, I am there.
That's right. You are
There.
standing
Don't
tall
need
and
a
you're
lot of
sturdy.
Yeah.
Okay.
For this podcast, I will study more definitions. I promise.
Number 4, what do you want to do better as a friend?
Answer the FaceTime calls from Pallavi.
And lastly, what are friends for?
Oh, for emotional nourishment.
Oh, I love that. You nailed it.
When I saw you, girl, I was like, I had no idea how this cactus needed some water. Girl.
Aw, I love you.
And then my cactus tears came out all by myself when I didn't see you with my dog Leela. I'm laughing now,
Okay,
but
I'm
I was
ready.
crying then. How long is your longest friendship?
I could also say 33 years for my sister, but I'm going to say 33 years for also my best friend from Houston.
And their name is?
Oh, sorry. Yes, her name is Amelia. Shout out. She also has a 2-year-old.
Hey, girl. How do you stay in touch?
FaceTime calls.
Work. In one word, what type of friend are you? Problem solver, listener, needy, blunt, etc.
Problem solver.
Go on.
Okay, yeah, I'm a problem solver. I think I'm one of those people. If you need solutions and you're ready to move on from your, you can dwell. I'm not the friend that you dwell with, but when you're done, I'm ready to help you.
Love you for it. What do you want to do better as a friend?
Practice patience.
Especially on Zoom. Sorry, these are your answers.
Yeah.
Practice patience. I love that. And Pallavi, what are friends for?
Friends are for reflection. They're a mirror back to us and what we can do better.
My hands are raised right now, like raising the roof.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a wrap, I think, for you and me on our first episode of season 2.
We did it. We did that.
We did it.
Thanks to you for taking the time and for being excited about this. And who are we going to have on our next episode, Gabrielle?
I'm so looking forward to Vasti Mompoint being our first guest of season 2. She is a Broadway broad extraordinaire, the most talented mofo I've ever met, and as well as like a beaming, shining light. And one of those people that you meet and you're like, I have to be friends with her. And she's like, cool, I'll be friends with you. And then like you are best friends. I mean, it's going to be great. Also, the founder of Broadway Babysitters. She's an extraordinaire powerhouse and also a beautiful emotional being. So I'm looking forward to having Vasti.
So
on
fun
the podcast.
fact, actually, we can always revisit this in episode 3, but fun fact as a teaser is that Vasti was actually talking to us about being on season 1 originally because she also knows Samantha because they worked on a Broadway show together.
I love that. See? What are friends for? Everyone, stay tuned and keep listening and subscribe.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This episode was produced by Team Access Productions and Fast Nickel Inc.
Our supervising producer is Philippa Sanchin.
Our consulting producers are Kathleen Cho and Megan Densmore. Our production assistants are Alex Udome and Susie Cabello. Special thanks to Samantha Weiner and Hari Savitala.
Our podcast artwork is created by Aishwarya Sukesh.
Original music by Joey Sherman.
Please remember to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast wherever you're listening to it now. This really helps our show's visibility, and it lets us keep making it for you.
Find us on Instagram and Twitter at WAFF Podcast. That's WAFF Podcast. And email any questions, requests, and positive feedback to whatourefriendsforpodcast@gmail.com.
We truly appreciate you all checking in with us online. But you know that friend that you've been like, oh, I really haven't checked in with that person in a while? Go do that.
Yeah, go do that now.